Hi guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about Ripple. We have to do it. Unfortunately we can't ignore it. Ripple is going nuts at the moment. $2.21 on the coin market cap. In fact, let's quickly refresh and see if there's any changes. Nope, $2.21, 53.20% increase in the last 24 hours alone, and it has overtaken Ethereum, $85 billion. That is unbelievable. It is crazy. Of course, the fact being is that there are way too many Ripples out there in circulation, and that is why Ripple is sitting on second position, despite the fact that it is worth only $2.21. If we do go to the world coin index, the price is slightly different. Let's refresh. $1.98, but it has actually overtaken even Bitcoin. Is on _1 position. Now if you ask yourself why, if you're not familiar with it, that is simply because there is 5.52 billion worth of trades in Ripple for the last 24 hours, and world coin index generates the numbers, the spots, depending of how much money are being traded and so on. So currently Bitcoin number second position with 3.9 billion, quite low for Bitcoin. We do see Bitcoin suffering at the moment, and you're wondering what's going on with Ripple, why is it jumping? And the first thing is obviously the fact that Japanese and Korean banks are testing currently the Ripple Net, the cross-border funds transfers. And as far as I remember, they were supposed to be coming out with some test results at the end of January, but it looks like maybe they already have some good news which they haven't spread out. But I did post early on my Twitter page right here that someone early on purchased 450 million Ripple, and it could be down from Korea, could be from anywhere, but it is very likely that it is from Korea, because if we go back to the coin market cap and we click on Ripple, we can clearly see that the big push is coming from Korea. So we have BitHump, and it's with Korean won, $2 billion worth, 30%, way more than any other exchange at the moment, and that is huge. So obviously the big push, it is coming from Korea. It definitely has something to do with this test Ripple Net cross-border funds transfers, as well as it has to do something with the fact that the Korean government came out and said that they are potentially going to be banning exchanges. Therefore they will pretty much ban trading with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and whatever. We have seen this before when Chinese government came out. The same thing happened. Prices went down. Eventually the Chinese government came out. They allowed exchanges, but they put some regulation in place, strict regulation, and I'm assuming the same thing will happen again. So why is Ripple up? Well, that's the two main reasons. There's nothing else right here. Of course, Ripple has lots of support from the banks. They have lots of partnership, and in my opinion, Ripple will be huge. I've made a video, you can find it in the history of my channel in regards to Ripple and Stellar. Stellar being the second position, also trying to do the same thing as Ripple. But Ripple, it is on #1, and everybody's going for it at the moment. There's a lot of new money coming in from people that haven't invested before. I'm quite disappointed with one thing and one thing only at the moment, and I'm all in for making money, but it looks like we are once again bringing back the middleman. That's what cryptocurrency was meant to be. Cut out the middleman. That was the idea of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. But Ripple is backed by banks, backed by governments, because banks and government, they work together. We all know that, and therefore we are suddenly giving the control back to them. The latest, for instance, is and shows the centralization in Ripple and banks. Ripple, for instance, to create a wallet, you need 20 Ripples to deposit in the wallet, and therefore once you deposit them, you no longer can take them out. They're stuck there forever. Now the argument right here from Ripple themselves is that they are doing this in order to stop people creating empty wallets, and so manipulating the network. That's a nice argument. However, there will be so much Ripple lost or locked in, and you can't ever access it anymore, so you're gonna have to be careful. That was okay with me to begin with when I was testing Ripple, although I wouldn't like it. Imagine if Ripple reach $10, let's say. So 20 Ripples will equals to $200. Now imagine if you have 1 million addresses, how much money is this? But the latest is the fact that some of the wallets have already moved from 20 repos, you now need 50 repos to activate your wallet or to send your funds. So for instance, if you are now sitting on a repo and you try to send out your repo, you may find out that you no longer can send it and leave only 20 inside. You may need to leave 50, and that's a lot of repo right there, and that is centralization and control. Let's assume today there were another 10,000 wallets created, repo wallets, and each of those has to leave 50 repos in there. So times this by 50, that equals to 500,000 repos. Now considering the amount of repos out there in circulation, it may sound like nothing, but that's a lot. Because if we multiply this by today's price of 2.20, that equals to 1 million US dollars, and that's a lot of money. Where are those money going? Now imagine if this multiplies by 5. Let's say Ripple goes to 10, 15, whatever. Let's say multiply this by 5. That equals to 5.5 million locked in Ripple. No one can ever access anymore, or at least you can't take them out. So be careful out there with wallets. Don't create too many wallets. Don't send repos to too many wallets, because you may end up with quite a lot of it being stuck and you can't use it. And that's one thing I personally don't like about Ripple. Now, if you're going to be making money with Ripple, and if you think, because one of the next question would be, is now a good time to invest? And that's what normally happens. Unfortunately, it looks like we all became sheeps when it comes to cryptocurrency, including me. We tend to, as soon as we hear about something, we jump for it and we go nuts. We don't even do researches, and we make lots of money for other people, but some of us don't even make money. Fair enough, if you're gonna end up making money, I can't tell you not to invest in Ripple. There's definitely a potential in there. There's talks of Ripple being added to Coinbase, and I would not be surprised one bit. If we go back to the coin market cap, right here, you can see which currency at the moment in the Coinbase. Bitcoin, 244 billion market cap. Ethereum, 72 billion market cap. Bitcoin Cash, 45 billion market cap. Litecoin, 13 billion. Now consider the fact that Ripple now sits on 85 billion market cap. In my opinion, it will definitely be added to Coinbase, because that's what Coinbase adds: cryptocurrency that are widely used on a daily basis with huge market cap, because this means lots of money for them. I mean, they're not gonna add a cryptocurrency that is worth, let's say, $1 billion, because simply there's not enough money for Coinbase there to make. But those cryptocurrency will definitely be sitting, and Ripple will be one of it, especially right now, and it is likely to grow. To go back real quickly to, is it now the right time to invest? Obviously, if it's gonna go higher and higher, it's always the right time to invest. If you miss the boat, yes, you're not gonna make the same returns as people that jumped in when it was 25 cents or even cheaper than that, but you still can make good returns depending on how much you're planning to invest. Am I gonna support it personally? If you ask me, at this point, not. Simply because, again, as I said, we are giving back power to the banks, to the middlemen that we were supposed to cut out. And I'm not bitter one bit. I can make money with other cryptocurrency, and I will continue to support centralizations. And definitely, I don't like the fact that they are increasing the amount of Ripple we need to hold in wallets, because that shows you that tomorrow they can suddenly make wallets with 100 Ripples, with 200 Ripples. We never know when this can stop. We've seen this with banks. They can do whatever they want. And finally, I wanted to make one more point, but I forgot about it, what I was going to say. So yeah, Ripple, it's a good investment to make money long term, definitely. I remember my last point. So we've just quickly seen that most of the backing up is coming from Korea at the moment, 2 billion. Compared with the rest of it, you can see it's nowhere near, because you have here the Korean won, you have here the Korean won, and most of those money, and obviously we have a little bit of Japanese yen. So if you put this together, it's definitely more than the rest, possibly. As well as this shows us that there's so much control now of Ripple that if tomorrow the Koreans decided to switch around and drop it, it could significantly drop in price. So as it decreases 52%, it could suddenly decrease in 52% and more, just like that. So that's the reason as to why. Please do be careful, but long term, in my opinion, you can make money if you don't mind supporting you know, centralized cryptocurrency controlled by possibly governments and banks. Because let's be honest with you, Ripple are obviously listening to the governments and to the banks. That's what Ripple is. It is centralized cryptocurrency that you are required to put your cryptocurrency to have a wallet, and that's not how it should be when it comes to decentralization in cryptocurrency. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Let's continue this incredible journey 2018. Let's be big, and let's not forget where it all started, Bitcoin and decentralization and cutting the middleman. If you enjoyed the channel, feel free to subscribe and share. If you want to support me on Twitter, feel free to come and join in, and see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.